Hello and welcome to Into Dorkness episode 2
/18.
Once we get to 500, we'll just combine the numbering, Amazing Spider-Man style.
Right. That's a lot of weeks. How many? That's like 10 years worth of episodes, right? I mean, there are 52 weeks in a year, so
there are
closer to 10 years than to 2 years.
Yeah.
Unless we pick up the pace on how many episodes.
Maybe we do an episode a day. Maybe we do that.
That'd be rough.
An hour and a half every day.
That'd pretty much be all we do. Plus,
we keep 3 episodes. 3 episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
So I have to watch 135 minutes of Star Trek, and then I have to
every
spend
day.
another 90.
Yeah.
Only half of it talking about Star Trek. So I get 15 minutes to talk about each episode, and then we have to somehow fill another 60 minutes of content.
Yeah. Every day.
All right, let's do it. Let's go for it.
It's a good plan. It's the only way that I think we'll be able to make a dent in the podcasting game.
Yeah.
Because I mean, everyone does a weekly podcast.
Pretty much.
At the most, some fools do bi-weekly or twice a week.
Right, or in the case of Team Hurricane, once a year.
Once a year, every blue moon.
Yeah, every time I buy Daryl some Blue Moon.
you want to do this? Like, I got enough blue moon in me. I'll do just about anything. So yeah, every day. So join us tomorrow for Into Dorkness episode 3/19. How are you? I'm Sergio.
I'm Sean.
That's Sean drinking Coke Zero. I'm drinking Mountain Dew Kickstart. Into Dorkness brought to you by Mountain Dew Kickstart. Kickstart your heart with this energizing fruit punch.
Energizing fruit punch with just the right amount of kick.
Just the right amount of kick. It's an energy juice.
It's 5% juice.
It's a juice. Energy juice drink? I forgot. I heard a radio commercial, and everyone's like, "I love it." The bodega down the street, they were sold out last time I went.
Yes, so I asked you to bring me one, and you were like, "No,
I'm not going to do that."
I'm not going to do that.
I purchased like 11 of them. I found them for $1 at a supermarket.
And I emptied my piggy bank.
I ran home, I got a hammer and smashed it, and then I thought, like, wait a minute, I have a debit card.
But by the time I got back, there were only 11 left.
Yeah, and I bought all of them, and I kept them in my desk at work, and I drank. They're all gone now.
Oh yeah, no. I bought a new 12-pack of Coke Zero on Thursday. I had to go buy more yesterday, which was Saturday. So in 2 days, I ran through a 12-pack.
Is caffeine bad for you?
If it is, then I don't want to be good.
But I mean, because I was drinking coffee. I had to work on a Saturday at 7 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up drinking about 4 cups of coffee.
Whoa.
By like maybe noon, maybe 1 o'clock.
Right.
When I finished my last one, and then it dawned on me like, hey, maybe this isn't the best thing for me. But I don't use creamer.
Right. Well, so you're asking if coffee's bad for you, not if caffeine's bad for you.
Well, I mean, that's all coffee is. It's just caffeine, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing else to it.
I mean, there's coffee in it. Like, there's decaf coffee. I mean, it's still coffee.
That's the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life.
Like caffeine-free Diet Coke.
Also, well, I mean, does it taste the same?
I don't know. Why would I drink that? Why would I ever drink that?
You think I'm stupid? You think I'm stupid?
Oh my god. So much makes sense now.
Well, I had 4. I don't use creamer. I use
4 cups of coffee.
Truvia, which is stevia, which is an all natural sweetener.
Right. I don't think I've ever had stevia.
It's nature's calorie-free sweetener.
I would like to try some stevia. I think they're starting in some markets to sell Coke with stevia, which I would like to try if I ever come across it.
And so I had 4 of those.
So how big are these cups of coffee?
Like a mug, like a regular sized mug.
Like how many? Like one of Becca's mugs? Becca's got big mugs, or
just
a little regular,
a standard
8-ounce mug.
Standard missionary style government issued mug.
So probably more like
a cup,
more
probably
like 16 ounces.
No, like a cup,
like
8 ounces. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think. I mean, it is a drug, just like sugar.
Your love is my drug.
Yeah. Well, I mean, love can also be a drug. Love
dash CAD $.
Love does not exist, as we'll get into.
Yeah, love is a construct, much like fear, but we'll get into that.
Yeah, we're coming to that.
According to the sci-ties.
So I think too much of anything is bad for you. Like too much of sugar, too much heroin per se. You gotta dole out your meth, okay?
Well, I guess, but caffeine, it's natural. It's
yeah, it's natural, but so's poison ivy. You know,
but I don't know.
So are sharks.
Sharks are pretty natural.
It's hard to get more natural than a shark.
I don't know. I guess
I don't think it's. I mean, it raises your blood pressure.
It does that. Okay,
so I would say, I mean, in moderation.
So not 4 cups over the span of like 5 hours.
And it depends
Probably
on your
not.
tolerance. I think Becca could probably drink that much and it wouldn't make a dent. But I have 1 cup of coffee some mornings, and I'm good for about half a day. Like,
really?
I'm still, at the age of 30, super susceptible to caffeine.
I envy that. I had coffee before we hooked up this afternoon and watched. You raise your eyebrows, yeah. Sean and I had sex in the parking lot of a Cinemark, and then watched After Earth.
It's 2 really disillusioning experiences.
Like I didn't like either of those experiences.
But I guess we had to do them. We had to know.
We had to know. There's no other way.
No one can explore it for you. It's the hero's journey.
I had a cup of coffee before we got together, and I fell asleep for about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes during the movie.
That's right. You had to eat the rest of my popcorn just to stay awake.
Pretty much.
You're like, give me that. I don't even want it, but I'm gonna eat it.
I need to be doing something. I need to be in motion.
I need to wrap my jaw around something, and since we already had sex, this is the only thing that's gonna work.
I'm not in the mood now.
Look, I've already come, so like I am disinterested at least for a little while.
So a little spoiler alert for our After Earth talk. I fell asleep for about 5 minutes. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I know I should probably drink green tea, but coffee just tastes so good sometimes.
I don't put anything in it. I don't put sugar in it. I don't put stevia. I just drink it straight.
Drink it black.
Well, whenever I was doing Weight Watchers, it didn't cost any points.
Mm-hmm.
And it would also make me not hungry. So I would just drink 1 cup and I'd be wired pretty much till after lunch.
That was your bag?
That was my bag.
I had those 4 cups, and I guess I wasn't hungry.
Right.
I'm very much of the
starve yourself skinny school.
Yeah, like there's nothing that tastes as good as feeling skinny. If I'm not hungry, I won't eat.
Right.
And if I don't realize, like if I don't think like, oh, I'm hungry, I won't eat.
You've always been.
But I mean, but that's not to say that like I hardly eat because I often think like, hey, I'm kind of hungry, so I'll eat, and right. I do that all the time. But on the flip side of that, like I had these 4 cups of coffee. And I wasn't hungry, so I didn't eat until 5 o'clock.
Jeez.
And by that point, I was starving. I wolfed down a burrito.
Were you hangry?
You
know what hangry is, right? It's when you're so hungry that you're angry. Hangry.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I wasn't hangry. No.
Okay.
I wasn't like, oh, it's like when you're cranky like a baby. I do that though.
You do get cranky like a baby.
Sometimes, yeah. There was a girl I was dating. I forget which girl it was.
There have been so many. So
many girls. To all the girls I've loved before. Well, there was one. I just remember I was being a bit of a pill, and she just said, like, "Have you eaten like today?" And I was like, "No, I haven't eaten since this morning." She's like, "Okay."
Pretty much. I do the same thing. Like I come home from work spoiling for a fight, and then Becca will just give me something to eat, and then afterwards I'm just docile.
It's like if like those bulls, like with the horn, like with the nose ring.
Right.
If you can run up and if you can snatch it before they see you, you can just like lead them around like a baby lamb.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what.
That's the rumor.
That's what some cowpoke told me
That's what the gypsy told me.
That gypsy woman said. Speaking of never let go, have you ever seen Never Let Me Go?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think about that?
I loved it.
Mark Romanek, right?
Yeah, I loved that movie actually.
That seemed like that would be my jam, but I never watched it.
So you haven't seen it?
Mm-mm.
It's too bad you don't have a Blu-ray player. I have it.
Son of a... Let me borrow your PlayStation 3. Just let me borrow it.
Becca's playing Lego Lord of the Rings.
I'm just going to borrow it.
Look, you're gonna get it back.
Okay.
I come over to your house and you have 400 Mountain Dew Kickstarts. I'm like, where'd you get the money for all these Kickstarts?
Like I won a contest.
Cool, can I have my PlayStation back? Oh, it's in the shop, bro.
Oh, I'm getting it upgraded for you.
You'll have it back in 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, it seemed like it was my bag. That kind of like dystopian future. I love movies about dystopian futures,
but it's a very
which is fucking crazy because I've never seen Blade Runner, which is kind of like
we need to do Blade Runner.
It's like the landmark of what's the word I'm looking for? Like the
no, it is like
the touchstone of
dystopian
of like the future's awful. And we have fuck robots movies.
Well, it's like the modern touchstone. The classic would be Metropolis, the Fritz Lang movie.
For sure.
I've got that too. I do not have it on DVD, but we should do it for one of our next episodes. We should do Blade Runner because what's interesting about Blade Runner is I don't think it's actually that good of a movie, but it's gorgeous though, and I think that's what everybody responds to is the production design and the ideas. Yeah. And Rutger Hauer's pretty cool in it, but like the story is so slow and boring. But it doesn't matter because the movie looks so cool and it creates such a great atmosphere. I mean, the world is so complete, especially for the time. I mean, now they just do it all with computers, but when you consider they built all this shit,
maybe that's why I couldn't get into it. Maybe because I tried. I bought it. I bought like
that's right. You had the DVD of the director's cut.
Yeah, I bought the direct because everyone's like, "This movie's a shit," and I was like, "Oh, I work at a CD and DVD store.
Right.
I can get it for like $10. Sure, why not?" I bought it, started to watch it, and then I was like, "This is kind of boring." Or I had something to do, masturbated or something. I don't know.
Jerking off is always the priority.
Yeah.
Coming. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, if sex is on the table, then why are you jerking off?
Yeah, like don't be stupid.
You've got a problem if that's the case, or you just don't like the person that wants to have sex with you.
Like I said, I worked. I was at work at 7 a.m. Got up at 4. Went home.
Tried to watch Blade Runner.
Realized, I have to meet my friend at Freeburg's at 5. I don't have any time to watch this 2-hour movie.
Never any time.
The point I'm getting to is I was away from home all day pretty much. Mm-hmm. And it got to be about 10:30, 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And we were watching a hockey game. It was in overtime, so it was very intense last night. Yes. And it was in between overtime periods. And I was like, I have to go. I got to get going home. It's getting late. I have to be in Frisco tomorrow morning at 8.
Right.
And I haven't jerked off all day. And I was like, I need to go do this. I need to go see about a dick. My dick. And to those listening, I mean, it's out there.
Well, I can remember, when you're a kid, like most kids are sort of ashamed. They're like, no, I don't jerk off.
I have to.
Right, well, no.
I'll go crazy otherwise.
But the thing is, everybody's doing it, but for some reason, when you're a kid, you're sort of ashamed of it. You think you're doing something wrong. And I don't know if that's religion or just being embarrassed about your body and the way it's changing and coming to terms with its new needs. But I can remember once, senior year, me, and our friend Daryl, we always rode to and from school together, and we all had early dismissal. So we would go to lunch, but one day I was like, can you guys drop me off and come back? And you're like, you got to jerk off? And I was like, yes. Finally, by 18, I was comfortable enough to be like, I need to jerk off so bad that I'm willing to forego food. I didn't have a car, so the only way I could get to you've got to come back in like half an hour.
I remember like that being a thing in high school. Like I was like, look, like there's no I didn't ask like my dude friends like, hey, like
do you do this?
They do this? Like I just assume I'm like everyone has to like I'm compelled to do so. By something, it's not just something like, I got shit else to do, I'm going to jerk off. Like, I don't do it for fun, it's not like a recreational sport. No. I don't join like an adult summer league.
Welcome to Into Dorkness.
This is Into Dorkness episode 2. Please like us on Facebook, facebook.com. We've changed everything. Everything is
everything you know is wrong.
Everything you know has changed. It's facebook.com/Into Dorkness. We're Into Dorkness on iTunes, so you can subscribe to us on iTunes.
So it has changed on iTunes.
Everything is rolled over. We got the new graphics up. Everything has changed. Well, we watched After Earth.
Yes. Before you say anything, let's give it a grade. What should we use as the rubric? Do you just want to use a letter grade?
Are we doing letters? Are we doing stars? Are we doing? Doing like the weird pitchfork, like 1 to 100, but it's or like 0 to 100, but like it's
let's just
like
do
really
letter
really like obtuse, like this is like a 7.3. I'm like really what's the difference between? I think they just do it just to be